I think I had to explain myself. I consider myself as gender fluid. I literally have the punch-out face and the style-saving face consecutively, but I'm mostly inclined on girly stuff when it comes to gaming. Dress-up games and pretty characters are the ones that attract me the most. And as you can see, Info Games got me good with the Nikki series, not since recently, not a few years ago, but since childhood when the first Nikki dress-up game was released on 2012. But when Love and Deep Space came out, I wasn't really interested. Like, I guess they weren't my type, I don't know. But when the sixth protagonist, Valko, had a promo, he did spike up my interest until he got cancelled. And everything's on flames. So I had to draw him, and my attempt is to write and draw an AU specifically for him. If you like other Love in Deep Space characters, I'm very sorry. I just want to write a story that accepts him. So let's jump in. As an outsider, I'll try my best to summarize what really went wrong. So Valko is first announced on the last day of June. The Chinese player base, well, part of it, hated his design. They think he was too gay looking, but also too masculine, and looked nothing like a character in the game. For me, he looked just fine. He looked like the most cisgender, masculine character that I've ever seen in this entire series. Even when you compare to the other 5 protagonists. And I know what I'm saying, because I watched Emerichu and her birthday party videos. So I believe that the disappearance of Valko is due to the advertising direction for him, hence the backlash. One of the promo for Valko is very diabolical. Literally there's a sentence that go like, "What's the matter for inviting the wolf to your home?" Which might suggest romanticized home trespassing. And without knowing the entire lore of Valko, it sounds like a really poor choice. Like, I kinda get it, they wanna go with invite him to your heart instead of let the harasser come to your house, but it's just pathetic. So, in case you're wondering, or you're ever curious, why do I want to draw him? Because I love werewolf characters, and we are so close to have those, and he was treated so unfair. The first time I knew about the werewolf trope is, well, the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, and Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, I didn't know what to tell you, I was 12 back then, okay? Despite of the cool beast design they can potentially have, I'm more attracted towards the dilemma of werewolf characters. Like, something, is he a man or is he a huge monster kind of thing when it comes to this character trope? Heck, I'm more than welcome if we really have a she-wolf character or a werewolf character with body dysmorphia within the same argument. I also think due to my art style, I might need to simplify his design for the AU I'm planning on. The most difficult aspect I'm dealing with Valko's design is his hair. Like, how am I gonna translate this in a more cartoony way? And I'm an artist who usually draw girls and long hair no less. So I decided to visit Red Note to seek inspiration on how to draw him. So he's going to have a swoop on his right side, that's all I ever know. And a simplified version for his debut attire will be drawn in this AU. And in case who is that red-haired girl beside him, I'll explain later. Right now. So, in this alternate universe, the story is going to be based on a dress-up game. Well, you know, we don't talk about the game that I was going to say. Like, gosh, they got so much potential. Anyway, the protagonist was named Ella, where she have a diary gifted by her mother. And when she opened the diary, she would transport into this fairy tale land and meet Mulberry, which is the red-haired girl, and Valko, of course, and many more fairy tale looking characters. So now Ella had to balance her actual life as a high school girl and the fairy tale world in her diary as a fashionista, and that's where the story begins. Valko will be the love interest for Mulberry, and a prominent side character here as I want to focus on the dress-up aspect of the game. Valko and Mulberry was initially enemies, like I'm still keeping the wolf and hunter stuff. Valko was the leader of the werewolf corporation, because I like the fact that he's a buff yet smart guy. And Mulberry is an adopted werewolf from a prestigious hunter family. Mulberry was supposed to hunt down wolves because foxes and wolves are enemies and kills fairy tale characters. So Mulberry went into the forest where the werewolf corp was located, hence the saying from Falco, like, why is she trespassing to werewolf grounds if she's a decent person? She shouldn't be trespassing to begin with. But he only viewed Mulberry as a lost wolf fellow instead of a hunter. Like, he ain't dumb, he just welcoming. Well, they're basically Rumi and Jinyu. It's just without the trauma and the pains. And because Falco has a big warm family over here, he held
good old-fashioned values.
And now Mulberry has a moral dilemma. Like, if werewolves can transform into wolves, and wolves can eat fairytale folks like dinner, so is she going to hunt them down or not? And Volko, like any person would do, he just suggests Mulberry to study them in reference from one of the story cards, which is my favorite. And the reason why Volko suggests so is because that some of them did commit murder just because they are hungry. So, what do you guys think about the fairytale AU for Infault's abandoned son? It's not perfect, but I will try my best to improve the AU. If you guys have some good suggestions for this AU, you may leave a comment below. For now, it's time for me to leave. See you guys in these uploads or in the next one. Bye bye!